All right, so this one says, what is the domain of tangent? Well, I think I mentioned this on one of the previous examples, but tangent of x is really the ratio of sine of x all over cosine of x. Because it's a ratio, we don't want the denominator to equal 0. So cosine of x, at least in tangent, cannot equal 0 because it's in the denominator of the fraction. So when we graph tangent, there are vertical asymptotes that occur exactly when cosine equals 0. So let me illustrate that, and then we'll talk about the domain for tangent. So if I go into my graphing calculator and I turn it on, I'm narrating everything, every little step. And I turn it on. There it goes. Whew, I was getting nervous. And I go to y equals. I have sine already plugged in my calculator, so I'm going to turn that bad boy. Oh, no, wait, I want cosine. So let me go down to cosine and turn that bad boy on. So the green one is cosine, and the blue one is tangent. So the blue one is tangent, but notice when cosine equals 0, there's like a vertical line. So the blue one is definitely tangent. The green one is cosine, and let me take a screenshot of this so you can see it. Let's hit trace, and I want tangent to show up. So if I take a screenshot real quick, so in blue I have tangent, and then I graphed cosine right along with it because I want you to see this. So let me scroll down here, bring this down here so you guys can see it a little better. So where is cosine equal to 0? Well, it's equal to 0 right here. It's equal to 0 right here. The green one is cosine. So at the x-intercept, cosine is equal to 0. So let's say cosine of x cannot equal 0.
Interruption. Varsity baseball players to the gym, please. Varsity baseball to the gym.
Sorry about that. I'm going to leave it in the video. It adds character. So anyways, cosine is can equal 0, but it's in the denominator of tangent. So what that means is we're going to have a vertical asymptote right here that occurs here, it occurs here. And notice that tangent does not cross that vertical asymptote. It can't. It's not defined. It's what we call vertical asymptote. So it's asymptotic behavior. And this pattern goes on forever. Well, what we need to figure out is where does that occur? So one way to do that is just think, where does cosine equal 0? So cosine equals 0. So if this is, it has a, so let's talk about cosine for just a second. Cosine of x, if this is 0 and it has a period of 2 pi, then right here would be pi, right? And then right here would be half pi. So then this would be 3 pi over 2. This would be 5 pi over 2. So it's an odd number of pi over 2. And then the same in the negative direction. So how do we write that out? Well, first of all, it's all real numbers for sure, except we're adding pi, right? So the distance from here to here, that distance is pi. So I think the answer is C because it's all real numbers except when x equals pi over 2 plus pi times n. And I could make, and n could be an integer, which could be like negative, let me write this out properly. And when my fellow math teachers look at this video, I don't want them emailing me, you made a mistake. Well, maybe. So it could be like -2, comma, -1, comma, you could even plug a 0 in there, comma, 1, and so on and so forth. But C is the correct answer. So it's all real numbers except when x is equal to pi over 2 plus pi times any integer. Okay? And that's it.